This is special.
By His Excellency,
This is a
Hey, what's up? This is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to talk about the second fight breakdown for Dmitry Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev. Really quick, if you like the videos, please take the time right now. Subscribe to the channel. Just takes one click. Also, hit the thumbs up button. Also, one click. And tell a friend. Let's jump into this. We're going to start off with power. I would say, where'd the power go in the first fight? Because Dmitry Bivol was fighting flat foot a lot of that fight. Not the whole fight, but a lot of that fight was flat footed. He wasn't running. He wasn't ducking and dodging, no smoke in that fight. But still got to give it to Artur Beterbiev. He does have one punch knockout power. If he hits you, he can get you out of there. And if he hits you clean, he's definitely getting you out of there. So although they have this history, it doesn't mean that Dmitry Bivol can relax and say, well, he didn't do it before, so what's the likelihood of him doing it now? I totally disagree with that. And I think he still needs to be on the same eggshells that he was on that first fight. Boxing IQ. I still think it's Dmitry Bivol. I think he's a much smarter fighter. I think he's a much more well-rounded fighter. And I think he has multiple ways to win. He's just not some wrecking machine that's just going to come straight at you. He knows how to think, and he also knows how to set traps and implement those traps and properly execute those traps. Speed. Once again, Dmitry Bivol. I don't know why he didn't use his speed more in the first fight. Maybe that's, hopefully that's something that they're working on. I personally think that he won the first fight, and I think that he was robbed. But the speed factor was something that was definitely in his pocket, and I don't feel like he utilized it enough because he was fighting flat foot a lot of the time. And if he was on the move the way he typically is, I think his speed would have showed itself even more. Mental toughness. So typically I give it to the undefeated guy, but like I said, I personally think that Dmitry Bivol won the fight, and I think that he was robbed. But mental toughness, I'm just going to give it a draw. I'm going to give it a tie because both guys are solid. Both guys showed up in the first fight, and I'm assuming that both guys are going to come in with a game plan to make it a more definitive win in the second fight. So I'm looking at Beterbiev saying he's probably going to try to finish Bivol. And I'm looking at Bivol, I don't believe he's coming to try to finish. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, obviously he's going to go for it. He's going to take it. But I think he's going to use all his strengths, all his gifts, and all his attributes in the second fight. So I'm going to say it's a tie. Body work. Artur Beterbiev, hands down. Artur Beterbiev. Anywhere he hits you, he's going to hurt you. But Artur Beterbiev. Range work. Easily. Dmitry Bivol. By far, Dmitry Bivol. You know, like that's one of my critiques of the fight. I just don't know why he fought out of character. This is your bread and butter. The fact that nobody moves like you, and the fact that nobody has the cardio that you have and can move like this for 12 rounds, and you didn't utilize this gift over this individual. Durability. Honestly, I'm going to go with Dmitry Bivol. You know, Beterbiev's been down. Beterbiev's been, you know, like I'm going with Dmitry Bivol, and it wasn't like, even when Beterbiev was teeing off on Bivol, he stood his course, he stood his ground, and he wasn't wobbly or anything like that. I'm actually going to go with Dmitry Bivol. I think he's a lot more durable that he showed in the fight, and also just his overall career. I think he's a more durable guy, you know. Recovery. Beterbiev, he got up and he finished his guys. When he did go down, he got up and he finished his guy. He had a cut, and he got the guy out of there because they were about to, you know, they're about to stop the fight due to the injury that he sustained, and he got his guy out of there. So yeah, Artur Beterbiev. Cardio. Dmitry Bivol. Who else? Dmitry Bivol. You know, he was pushing the pace of their fight. You know, and it was funny to see him going forward. You know, I never thought that he was gonna go forward in the first fight, because I'm like, no, all you got to do is fight off the back foot and circle around him and give him a boxing lesson and work off your jab. And he didn't do that. So yeah, when it gets to cardio, I'm definitely going with Dmitry Bivol. Creativity, Dmitry Bivol, hands down. Creativity. I think he's a much more smarter, much more well-rounded guy, and I think he has more tools in the tool shed than Artur Beterbiev. Danger. Who's more dangerous? Who is more dangerous between these two? Artur Beterbiev. He hits like a Mack truck. Like, I don't care how fast you are. I don't care, how much cardio you have. You take one of those, and it slows you down. It takes the gas out of the truck. I got to go Artur Beterbiev. Now, what are my takeaways for both guys? And I think, what are the adjustments that both guys have to make? I think for Dmitry Bivol, I think he needs to use his natural gifts. His natural gifts is his cardio. His natural gifts are his legs and his ability to be mobile and move around and shift and go back and forward, but also fight backing up. I don't know why he was pressing the fight, because you're fighting Artur Beterbiev. You don't need to press anything. You just need to be there and be ready. You look at Beterbiev. I felt like he was just. I felt like he was pushing it. So you can tell when guys are looking for a knockout and they just want to throw something heavy. Listen, go back to your jab. Just jab. Literally, if you jabs create openings. It can force your guy back. It also gives you time to think, and it's a great range finder, or gauger, should I say. And now you can play off of something as opposed to throwing these monster shots. You don't always have to throw super heavy. And maybe I don't think he punched himself, out or anything like that because he won. But I think if he would have jabbed more, and I think here's a little trick. Do the old Rocky Marciano and attack his hips. That'll slow him down. Do something like that. Not only what does it slow him down, it makes him drop his hands. So I think with those tips, and I think them just fighting in character, I think Beterbiev gave Bivol way too much respect, and I don't understand why he did that. And I think Bivol fought out of character. That's what I think. So I think if you be yourself, I think we're going to see a much different fight this time around. Drop your thoughts down below.